think I have everything good. I got mix it up. I got the. Uh-oh. I got the games up.
You got it working?
I think I'm good. All right, wait. Let's make sure the audio works all. Oh, I got the.
Pull that out from the bottom. Oh my gosh, kids.
It wasn't me this time.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right. So we're live with the DukNilla NFL livecast podcast. We never do this, but I am your host, James, aka Vanilla James, and then I'm along with my my co-host, main host, Olduk, Chad.
I almost gave my old name from gaming and WoW. As soon as you said that, I was like, Dre. Oh, no, that's not the right. It's not Drable. It's not Drable. That was my old name, what I used for my paladin. No, yeah, Olduk.
Olduk, aka Chad, the Chadster.
Represent. Yeah.
Beat the Bears. Calm down.
Yeah. Let's just beat. We'll get into that.
Oh, we'll get into it. We're gonna get into it. I want to.
That was a. Woo! Oh, I got. Oh, good. Let's go.
I know you're excited. First off, let's start with that. How was your weekend?
I was good. Good. A lot of football. A lot of work. Progressing on the house. So my wife and son and father-in-law were down at the house putting insulation in. So we got that going this week. Still waiting on windows. But we're excited, man. They're still shooting for end of October, so I don't. Let me see. I'm not really a pessimist all the time, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. These windows are messing it all up. So, but yeah. Hopefully end of October, maybe mid. I'm guessing November, first second week of November. But
yeah,
we're getting there. So yeah, we're
that's
excited. But yeah, good weekend overall.
I know.
How about you?
I took myself and all my kids. We all got haircuts, so that always feels good. Speaking of which, I think picture day's tomorrow at school, and I'm not prepared, so that's probably something I got to do when we get off here is get their picture day stuff ready. I really hope it's on Thursday or Friday. Speaking of Thursday, my youngest.
So the question is how good are you at matching clothes and sets? Because me.
Do you see my style right now? All right, I have a camouflage bandana with a Boba Fett T-shirt and the red, white, and blue shorts. Like you're asking about my fashion.
You're right there. We don't care what colors. They just whatever. If as long as you got clothes on.
I do try to keep it up. I know it's America, but I try to keep. I got. And I'm really excited. I got more bandanas to pull out, for the season. My wife, she buys me a bunch. I got my pumpkin one, some more Halloween ones I haven't pulled out yet. I've
just got to work on getting a DukNilla one made.
I know.
We get a DukNilla one made. You might see me wear one just for that special edition.
That would be nice. We got to get a DukNilla bandana. It
better be extra large, though, because I got a big old noggin.
Oh, I finally learned how to wear bandanas. For the longest time, I was just trying to make them. Oh, it's so much easier now. I have a big head too, so it's like.
I mean, this is watermelon size up on here. So.
Oh no, I do. I feel you.
Well, he's got a pretty big dome too.
Well, let's get away from my self-consciousness and my big head, and let's talk about our best ball team here.
How do we do?
We got 7th this week.
Oh.
But you figure week 1 we were 8th. Week 2 we were actually 3rd. This past week we went 7th, but we're in 5th place.
Okay.
We're only 53 points behind 2nd. We're about 100 away from 1st, but we don't need to be in 1st to get into the show.
We want in the playoffs. That's all we want.
And it's still we're still really early, but more importantly, and this is the most important thing, our team is healthy. Okay. You know, we have some guys that like Gronk is a little questionable, but Hunter Henry's coming on. We just got OBJ back he's in our lineup. I want to put 7 yards. Put it this way: our top receivers, we had Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Evans, AJ Green, all put up. AJ Green put up 19.2, so they all put up about 20.
Okay.
I mean, and then
we had OBJ put up on the point wise.
He put up 13. And he got beat out in the flex. And that's not bad.
First game back,
that's bad. Pretty good. I mean, Callaway ended up being our 14-point flex, but Terry McLaurin was on our bench. I mean, Nick Chubb didn't make it. No, Leonard Fournette. We have Devin. Like, when I started looking at our lineup, I'm like, holy cow, we are deep in this league.
Could you imagine picking up Kareem Hunt after that week?
I mean, Kareem Hunt. But like we have Antonio Gibson, Chase Edmonds as our running backs.
Right.
So Nick Chubb, Leonard Fournette, being able to Devin Singletary. Like, we just need one of them pop off. Zach Pascal's been very good to us lately. I mean, our team's looking healthy and good. Like, this team, I mean, our QBs, like Jared Goff's been pulling some weight the last couple weeks. He had like 2 30-point weeks. I mean, Baker put up a little less than a respectable 16. Goff only put up 9. That's probably our weakest point, you know, but our team's looking. I think we're going to make it.
Yeah.
I think we're good. But with that said, let's get into some of our game picks, which we're just going to say.
Let's just say that right off the bat before you start. You start going crazy, thinking it was horrible.
Duck fell back up. He fell further behind, but not by much. Not by much. You got 5 wrong. I got 4 games wrong. 2 of those games we matched, and then we split. Okay. You know, you had 4 wrong. I had 2. Oh no, excuse me. You had 3 and I had 2, so we weren't that far off on the games we split. But let's get into that. First game up, we had the Panthers and the Texans, and this game I wrote notes down.
Oh gosh,
this game I watched this game in detailed, like analytic, like a pure analyst. I watched this game
only because I'm not a Sam Darnold fan. That's the only reason why you're doing this to me. But go ahead.
No, it's very important. The Panthers have costly injuries in this game. McCaffrey's out of the game, possibly out for a couple weeks, which is great for our best ball because we don't have them. But for the Panthers wise, this is huge. I mean, this is a big deal for the Panthers. You know me, I've been a big fan of the Panthers. I wouldn't say big fan of them, but I've been a big what would you say, contrarian, thinking they're gonna win. I've been on their side.
You've been on the bandwagon.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
I don't know if they're a playoff team, but I think they're better than everyone gives them credit for. I think they're a good team. I think their defense is good. I think their offense was good. You knock out a Christian McCaffrey, and I'm very concerned because that man is dynamic. Like, that man is dynamic, and losing him's a big problem. But I still believe it's Sam Darnold. I think this team's still okay. But we'll see on my picks. We'll see how much I take them. Oh, also I did on my notes here. I do have Christian McCaffrey's injury was a non-contact injury.
Ooh.
And what
happened last time, right?
Yeah, that he it looked like a hammy, and when a player goes down with a non-contact injury, you know it's serious, and it wasn't a cramp, and it's not a cramp, right? Yeah, you know it's pretty serious and something to be worried about. Texans side of the ball, Texans are the Texans. QB is a nightmare. Mills look like he needs to go back to the General Mills. He is Not their QB of the future.
I mean, you got to
sure.
give props to the Panthers defense. It seemed like they played pretty well in that game.
Oh, are we giving props to the Panthers defense now? Are we allowed to?
Not offense.
I'm just saying.
Defense.
Are we allowed to give them
Let's
credit?
not go to. Yeah, I think they had pretty good overall. Overall, they're one of the top defenses right now. Shown points allowed, they're number one. Passing yards, they're number one.
Let me
Rushing
sell
yards,
you.
they're number one. Sacks, they're number one. So they're a decent defense right now.
Okay. I know what I'm talking about now. But let me sell you a little bit.
Ahead of yourself.
Hold on. Okay. Let me sell you a little bit on the Panthers. They haven't played
anybody yet.
I agree. But let me sell you on them a little. You just talked about how good their defense is. Sam Darnold, I don't need him to be Aaron Rodgers. I don't need him to be a Matthew Stafford or a Tom Brady. I just need him to control the game. For you younger people, I just need him to be a Joe Flacco and control the game. Don't turn the ball over. Right. Let Ray Lewis in the defense control the game and just, make some plays. Do your thing with Christian McCaffrey and Sam Darnold being able to control. I think Sam Darnold is a respectable QB.
No. See, that's where we go. Sam Darnold's garbage. He's never had anybody around him. I get that, but he looks like a deer caught in the taillight of headlights all the time. And so I didn't get to watch this game.
Well, he got mono week one his rookie year.
I don't care. That's no excuse for that.
Getting a little smooches, all right?
The Panthers defense is looking really good. They've only played the Jets, which is the one of the worst teams right now. New Orleans, okay, a little bit better offensive team than they've seen. Houston hasn't been playing up to snuff either. We'll see. They got Dallas next, and then Philly. So we'll see how they do in the next two games.
For sure. But I mean,
I'm not sold on Sam Darnold, and I said that from the beginning. The team. I'm a Panthers fan. I lived there for a good 7-8 months at one time. My stepdad, my stepdad drove limo for one of the guys that used to be on the team. So I have a signed jersey. I'll have to show it to you next time. But I have
Sam Darnold.
I have a little. No, it's not. Are you kidding me? That's like LeBron James burning party right there. Not happening. It's a waste of money. Not happening. Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to be here all night.
All right. Going on to get that game. The Titans beat the Colts 25-16. Carson Wentz didn't look like himself this game, but this to me looked like this game. More importantly, looked like the Titans getting back on track to being the Titans. Is what it looked like to me. That's really all I have on this game too. Oh, I guess I could throw the slide up. After that, we had the Giants narrowly beating, the Giants narrowly losing to the Falcons by a field goal.
Oh my gosh.
I actually felt the Giants were playing decent to this point for being a crappy team. Like, this was a battle of two crappy teams. But it felt like the Giants were starting to get right. They're starting to get healthier. Saquon looked more like Saquon. This was Evan Ingram's first game back, so he looked a lot better. But he still wasn't like you didn't see the connection reformed with him and Daniel Jones.
This was the opportunity for New York to get a win and get a good win
at home too.
At home. They're playing against the worst defense when it comes to points allowed, and interceptions. They're not the rushing yards. They're 24th ranked. They should have won this game.
Yep,
there's no excuses.
They should have. And
to me, that's just going to show this is where New York is heading. In this, they're going to be close games, but they're probably going to lose majority of them.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this shows how the NFL can, you could turn on a dime. The Falcons, we look at them as this is not a playoff team. No way in hell. This team is going to be top 5 picking in the draft next year. But this is a team that was just in a Super Bowl, within 5 years.
Top 5 picking. This could be a quarterback picking. This could be the last year for Matt Ryan.
I agree too. I agree with that 100%. I know little about college football, very little, but from what the analysts and experts that I trust say about the draft class for this upcoming year. They say it's one of the worst ever. So that's concerning. As a Detroit fan, well, we're definitely picking top 5.
Which is not good a year to be picking top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
if you need a quarterback, right?
I mean, I hope there's some other position we can get. Like, to me, I'd much rather be like one of those teams like a Tampa Bay where they built on their defense, like a Washington right now, where they're building up on their defense, where their defense like a top 5, top 10 defense, and then we're just like, look, high-end QBs, wouldn't you like to play here?
This upcoming draft is a boring pick. Offensive line. You've got to sound your offensive defensive
We won't
lines.
do offensive line this year just because we have so many offensive linemen.
Yeah, but are they good enough to keep your quarterback? We'll have to see.
When we get Tyler Decker back,
year to go.
We'll see.
See, he's hurt, right? He's out.
He's not normally hurt.
Well, it doesn't matter. The guys got hurt.
And we took Panay Swell. Man, I'm sorry. But one of the best linemen was the best lineman in the draft, the steal of the draft in many people's opinions. But I mean, and what's sad is we put him at right tackle because we're like, Tyler Decker, you are our left tackle. Swell, we just play right tackle. He sucked. We're like, this could be the bust of the draft. We move him to left tackle. And he's like, born natural. Should have never.
Night and day difference in motions and movements on those things. You can't.
So now they're talking about putting Decker on right tackle, which he is much more fluid on right tackle. He's a better left tackle than right, but I mean, you got to put your players where you need them.
We'll see.
With that said, next game we had. This was By the way, we both had that last game wrong. We both took the Giants, the Falcons one. We both took the Chiefs on this one.
But that was a close game. You know what I mean?
I went back. All right, so I went back and watched the tape because some of the picks that we picked later, I didn't believe I took these picks because I'm like, I didn't take that pick. And I had to go back and make sure I actually took that pick. But when I ran back and rewatched it, you talked about the Chargers-Chiefs game being a little bit closer.
Yeah. I'm kind of sold on Justin Herbert. I think he's doing really well over there. And, Kansas City was coming off a game where they didn't. What was the last game they even played? Why am I blanking on that? They played Baltimore, didn't they? And they.
Yes. Okay.
So what? Wow. Brain fart. That they came off a tough game, competitive game, and you had another team coming in that's an up and coming stronger team than I thought they would be, and Herbert's been doing really well. But yes, that was I should have picked, and I should have went with my gut on that one, and I didn't, and I should have picked the Chargers. But
I mean, the Chargers they actually showed up today, and they put their division on notice. On like, look, we're not going down without a fight. Let me look at their record real quick. So I want to say they're 1-2, but they could be 2-1.
They're 2-1.
They're 2-1.
They've lost Dallas.
Lost to Dallas. Okay, so
one at Washington, home against Dallas.
So this really put their division like, look, we're not a pushover team. Okay, you're not just gonna win. I mean, I always feel in division games doesn't matter the record. You play them twice a year. The 0-16 team at the end of the year on week 17 is could beat the like 17-0 team. It can happen, or 16-0 team. But
their defense is looking good too. They're seventh in points allowed right now.
Let's talk about the Chiefs defense that looked much sloppier. On top of, I'm sorry to the Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes looks too comfortable right now. He looks like he's too used to doing those no effort flick throws where he doesn't even, like, no look throws, and he got punished. Like, this is a prime example. I tell people all the time, because you call your shots, but when you call every shot, we remember the one where like, oh, do you remember when he called his shot and he made it? But that happens when you call every shot. Nobody talks about the ones you missed. And this is the time I want to talk about Mahomes and like calling those shots, no looks, and not making them. I mean, he had an interception on a terrible throw got bounced near, picked off because he didn't set his feet and look at the receiver. Just knew his receiver, which is good for him for knowing where his receiver is going to be, but it wasn't a good enough throw. With that said, though, I still would take Mahomes over most quarterbacks in this league.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not Mahomes, calm down. Mahomes, calm down. I'm not saying he's a bad QB. I'm just saying you need to pump your brakes, okay? He's not the GOAT. Calm down. Which, speaking of which, when I did my small little stunt at Chick-fil-A, I can't tell you how many people actually sat there and told me Mahomes was the GOAT. These kids these days.
You went to Chick-fil-A?
You didn't know I worked at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, you worked there. I thought you said you went there today.
No. I had a small stint where I ran the back of the house. We'll just say that. And all these young kids that I had to basically babysit, and I talk football with all day. make their bosses madder than anything. Like, I'm trying to stop talking to my people. I'm like, listen, all right, I did my checks today. I gotta talk to somebody. But yeah, they really do. Mahomes is the GOAT. I mean, he can be your hero, but he's not the GOAT. Calm down. The GOAT plays in Tampa right now.
Right.
And before him, he played for San Fran. And that was Joe Montana.
Oh,
the previous GOAT. The previous GOAT. Joe Montana. All right.
Joe Montana.
Next up, though, we had this was Duck's second game he got wrong right here.
Okay, rub it in.
Yep. He took the Steelers, but the Bengals 24-10 for the Bengals.
Yeah, this is pathetic play by
the Steelers look like hot garbage, hot trash.
Hot trash.
Hot garbage. Speaking of this, I think we're going to get a soundboard for next week, and I'm getting some, like right now, I just have Will Ferrell in my head going, hot garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to push that button right now and get that. I think I'm gonna work on a soundboard for next week, I think. But yeah, I think this is more of a tale. Like I've been on the Bengals where I think they could be a good team. I love the draft pick of Jamar Chase. Played with Joe Burrow in college, and I love when teams go out. Like he's already, he's a locked in top receiver he's a number one receiver, and when you can match him up with your top QB, your starting QB, and they already have a natural connection, I love this pick. Like they were talking about, oh well, they should have took an alignment. No, you have a chemistry bond with a receiver already. That's a top receiver, a top dog. I loved the pick. It's very unfortunate because I really wish I got Jamar Chase in a lot of like best ball and fantasy leagues, which I got him in none. Because the rounds I was comfortable taking them, I had to take other positions or whatnot. But I have always been on the bandwagon where I think the Bengals could be a good team. I think they have other needs, but I think this is a bigger story of how bad the Steelers are.
And their defense was awful, especially against the pass. They give up over 300 yards.
Najee Harris cannot pass block.
Joe Burrow, though, this lined up for them because their defensive, the defensive front on Pittsburgh is still pretty good, right? They're not giving up much yardage. They're not averaging anything over 85 yards. The rushing touchdowns they've given up 0. Their passing yards has been horrible, so that matches up for Joe Burrow because he's a natural quarterback thrower. he can throw well and he does good.
Oh, we talked about the natural chemistry of a receiver.
Yeah, I love Joe Burrow. He's in the division that I'm a little. I think he's going to be an upcoming quarterback within this division. I think he's going to be on the top. This Bengals is looking pretty good.
Hear me out. The Bengals might be the team to be worried about in that division. Other than, like, for the Browns, that's the team they need to be worried about. I don't think they need to be worried about Pittsburgh. The Ravens are fumbling on their feet. The Bengals look like the team they need to be worried about.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far with them just yet. We'll see. I mean, they're playing Jacksonville next week, so.
And we're not going to get a lot. I mean, if they lose, like, all right, so spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure we're both taking the Bengals. It's not going to be about if they win the game. It's going to be how they win the game. If they lose this game, we're totally off on them. But if they win this game by like a touchdown, that's going to raise more questions. Granted, Jacksonville, we need to see so much more out of Jacksonville. We'll get into that when we get to them. But next up, we have the beating. I'm pretty sure the police got called. Definitely an ambulance came to check on Justin Fields. The beating of the Bears, 26-6, which this should have been a higher scoring game, but Duck, how many sacks?
9.
4.5
by Myles Garrett. Just completely dominated their offensive line.
This goes to a true test too that the Browns have a really good defensive line. I'm really high on the Browns this year, but
they finally showed up though. They've had a couple rough the first 2 games weren't great for them. They're still not great in the passing yards. Our secondary is a little bit rough. I think they're still ironing things out. They played better this time. We gave up 1 net yard passing. 1 net yard passing.
Well, that's including taking sack yards away.
Yes, that's why it's net yards.
Net yards.
Technically 48. So it wasn't much. You know what I mean? 48 yards passing. That's all you got. You got about 46 yards rushing. That game was dominated, and you can't even say, well, it's because Justin Fields is a rookie. That's bullcrap. We're in the NFL. You should not be playing like a college football team. Division II almost. It was awful.
I want to point some. I want to be a contrarian here. There, some people have said that they feel like this game was called bad. That Matt Nagy, that coach of the Bears, purposely put Justin Fields out there in positions that he's not good at. They didn't run much of the read option. Like, people wanted him to be a read option quarterback, go out there, run that kind of offense, do those kind of things, and that they feel that they sabotaged him to prove that Andy Dalton should be the starter. What are your thoughts on that before I rip it apart?
That's garbage. They put him in because the other quarterbacks were hurt. They had to play him. They should have protected him better. They should have did more plays that would have been better for him. But you have to give credit to the Browns. Their defensive line was completely dominating the game. They have, I think it's Peters. I want to go with Peters. I'm not 100% sure if that's who it is on left tackle, right tackle, one of the two. He is supposedly a really good offensive lineman. He got shown. He was tore apart. They just couldn't stop. They couldn't give Fields an opportunity to even turn around on a play action pass. Their running game was not great. So you can't blame it on the coaching. I think if you blame it on the coaching, that's a horrible call. The offensive line had to play better. Justin Fields did what he could, and he got frustrated, and he got, he's a great quarterback. Don't take that away from him. That you can't let it this week hurt him. I think in the long run, you're going to see him really excel and become a great quarterback in this league. I just think he was, I want to say, put in a position. There wasn't any, it didn't connect. I don't know what else to say it, but it just wasn't a great situation for the team as a whole. Not necessarily call people calling for Nagy to be fired. That's ridiculous.
Now, I'm going to break it down in a couple pieces right here. Okay. So if we break the game down by halves, this was actually a closer game at the half, 10-3. It's a really close game. The Bears were hanging in there. What this really comes down to is the second part of this, which is, and I'm going to use another QB as an example of this, is some QBs, and if not the vast majority of them, I'm going to say 99.9% of them, need to sit a year. It's best for them to sit a year behind someone, learn how to be a leader. One, not only to learn how to be a leader, but learn how to take charge and beat someone else out that you probably should beat anyway. like an Andy Dalton. You should beat him out. If you're the guy, you should go out there, work, and be like, look, this is how much better I am than him. And then when you get that, you get to strut that, work it, and you have that confidence in you to go out and bust it. Plus, that's also going to take your starting QB like an Andy Dalton. He's going to be like, you know what, I gotta show up today. It's a prime example of what happened with Aaron Rodgers, where they drafted Jordan Love. Jordan Love, they put everybody know Aaron Rodgers is the starting QB. That year they drafted Jordan Love, he played an MVP lights out season. He was telling them, look, you don't need him. I'm the guy. And when Jordan Love got put in the game this year, week 1, he looked actually pretty good. He had time to sit and watch. I mean, Aaron Rodgers sat and watched behind Brett Favre. Tom Brady sat and watched behind Drew Bledsoe. And, I mean, Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. You hear that, Mahomes? So Justin Fields sitting behind a year is a good thing. Zach Wilson for the New York Jets should be sitting behind another QB. This kid, I mean, he's a young kid. He looks lost, and we are going to get into that game. But he is the other QB, the prime example of players that need to sit a year. Yes, players can come out. And Trevor Lawrence, the more and more I watch him, he should be sitting behind someone.
Absolutely.
Gardner Minshew should be the starting QB of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he'd be out there like, look, I got this kid drafted #1 overall. I'm out. My time is gone, limited. I got to prove to another team I could do it. And I bet the dude would play lights out. He would win a game, and I bet Trevor Lawrence would have want to put more effort to winning that job.
Yeah, it's hurting Urban Meyer's chances of coaching next year, to be honest. Even Zach Wilson and New York Jets, the first 2 overall pick, right? They're both not doing too great.
Now,
they're both playing. So
I will say this is I think the culture of the league is turning into drafting a QB within the first 4 years before you have to sign him to a big contract, building your team to be a playoff winning team, because that's what we've seen be successful other than a Tom Brady taking pay cuts. Is we see these QBs that are on rookie deals taking their teams to the playoffs. I like right now, the Chiefs are going to be a good team. But I'm telling you now, and I'm putting the world on notice, they will not be a team you're screaming out undefeated season for a long time, because Patrick Mahomes will suck up so much cap space. The only team that's defying this right now is the Los Angeles Rams. And they have Stafford on the cap. They still have Goff on the cap. And they have all these players on the cap, but they have to do it this year. If they don't do it this year, we're already talking about Ramsey going. They're going to keep Sam Darnold, or not Sam Darnold, but Aaron Darnold. It's Donald, right? Oh my God. Yeah, him, Stafford. Once you lose those guys, I mean, you got to start taking pay cuts elsewhere. You got to start trimming some fat.
Right.
You can't pay everybody. All right, I went on a little tangent there because I really don't want to get to this next game. This one hurt. This is the Lions losing in Lions fashion. The Ravens won by a record-breaking 66-yard field goal that doinked off the post, the middle bar, and just flippy flopped its happy way in. And like, mind you, for the record, the Lions were playing like trash for most of this game. I literally left to go to my storage unit during this game because I was so mad. But as I got to my storage unit, I'm like, you know what? I'm a true Lions fan. I put it on my phone while me and my son were digging in my unit. And I look and I'm like, we're only two scores behind. Now we're one. Now we're winning. Oh my God. There's only a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, as typical Lions fashion, we get screwed some way or another. There definitely was a delay of game that should have got called, which would have backed him up 5 more yards. I'm pretty sure his leg wasn't kicking a 71-yarder.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't want one play to be the defining factor because, there was other avenues. We could have played a tighter game the whole time. But, losing to a record-breaking 66-yard field goal. Do you know the last time Justin Tucker broke the record was? Do you know where he was? He was in Detroit.
Oh.
He was in Detroit.
Same place.
Same place.
Huh.
When asked about it, he said he loved Detroit and he might have to get a house out here. Yep. And then, Jared Goff talked about, I'm going to paraphrase here, talked about, losing sucks and the city's been through a lot. And, as a Detroit fan, living very close to Detroit, I agree. It sucks. We find a way to lose. We have the Calvin Johnson rule for a reason. We go to the playoffs, everything. We find a way to lose. There's just heartbreak after heartbreak. And Jared Goff put it, he's like, the city's been through a lot. They know heartbreak and it happens often. He's like, this is the first time that I've experienced it and I've never felt so low.
Mm.
And it is. It's like, like I've mentioned it, like being a Lions fan is like having a girlfriend that constantly cheats on you and you always take her back and you promise yourself she's never going to do it again. She's not going to let you down again. There's no way she can do it. But it happens every time.
Been there. That's how the Browns were for so many years. So.
And I know you know that feeling as a Browns fan.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be where the Browns are right now. Mm-hmm. Can I be there?
Right. Yeah. Who thought you would ever be saying that? Right?
No, because a couple of years. Oh God, it's been like 3 to 4 years now. But I actually I put I think $200 down that the Lions and the Browns were going to be the Super Bowl teams. I very clearly lost that bet, but yeah. I was pretty confident on that. Now that I just destroyed every bit of credibility of my NFL analyst side,
right?
This is another game Duck got wrong. This is the last game you got wrong, though. For the record, the last game Duck got wrong. So this is the last game. I got this one right, but this is the last one you got wrong. Okay. And that's the Saints beating the Patriots at home, Foxborough, 28-13.
That I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
When I went back and rewatched this, I talked about the Saints were going to bounce back. They weren't going to let themselves lose 2 in a row. You felt the same about the Pats, but to me, the Pats were more important when they had Brady because Brady takes losing more personally. And I feel that about Sean Payton. And I feel like this Saints team as a whole is a better team than the Pats.
Well, yeah.
Especially defensive-wise. I did say it was a bold pick, though. I called it a bold pick. And being in Foxborough, that's pretty bold.
Pats have got a good defense. I think Pat's defense is better than the Saints right now.
It was the offense. No 100%. Way.
I'm looking at the stats right now.
Stats don't show the whole picture.
Points allowed. They're second. Saints are 6th, but they're in a lot of first and a lot of low categories. They're pretty even. They're a better passing allowed team on the Pats than they are on the Saints. Saints are a better rushing defense team. So, they're both an even match on defense. It was the offenses that really that changed this game. So,
yeah,
I didn't expect it to be that high of a score. I thought it'd be a lot closer at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting game. Going back and watching, I still stand by. I would have taken the Saints 100 times out of 100, but bold picks. Sadly, that's the last game you got wrong. But I did convince you the Cardinals were good for once. It had nothing to do with them playing the Jags, though.
No, nothing.
A very obvious Cardinals winning 31-19 against the Jags. Pretty obvious to me. Trevor, like I just said earlier, Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's ready to start yet. I think he's a great QB.
How many more interceptions did he throw again? 1, 2, 3?
Hold on. We'll get to Zach Wilson in a minute.
I'm not talking about Zach Wilson. They're both bad, but my God.
I think another one that was pretty obvious was Buffalo beating Washington 43-21. Washington with their backup QB, which is a fairy tale story. Anyone who knows his story, Washington's QB, great story of a guy. You know, you want to root for him, but this team defensively, Washington, I'm talking, looks like a good team. But you're not when you're a backup QB. Your fairy tale story can only go so far. It was time to be over. Oh, Buffalo looks amazing though. Looks great.
They looked better. They look better. Last game wasn't
Lights
as great, but they're looking good.
Now this is the story of the Broncos demolishing the Jets 26-0. This is the Broncos look like a complete team.
Who did you pick on this one?
We both took the Broncos.
You picked the Broncos? Okay, just check.
No, we weren't picking the Jets, my man.
Okay.
We weren't picking the Jets. Zach Wilson, we're going to go right back and compare him to Justin Fields, where, like, should be sitting behind somebody. He should not be starting.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, this idea of rushing your QB out there to start, unless you're purposely trying to destroy his reputation and destroy his confidence so you can get another top 10 pick.
How many teams have done this throughout the last 10 years? And too many to count. It's been a ridiculous. These quarterbacks are good. They get their psyche all jacked up because they never change. I think that's why I'm so not sold on Sam Darnold, because I think he had the same concept in New York and they're doing the same exact thing to him.
To me, Sam Darnold has already been destroyed. Sam Darnold has the chance to recover.
That's what I'm saying.
And he went to a new home that can do it.
That's
why I feel good about Sam Darnold.
It's hurting Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah.
I don't want, and Trevor Lawrence, and I don't want to see that.
And Justin Fields. I mean, these QBs are only hurting themselves.
I don't think any quarterback that came out of the draft this year is going to have a good year. We've seen two quarterbacks from the previous draft, Joe Burrow and
even Mac Jones don't
Herbert.
look good.
No, and Herbert are doing pretty well right now, right? They're a top tier echelon quarterback that I knew they would be good. The guys this year, I wasn't sold on Trevor Lawrence from the beginning, especially, and not even close to Zach Wilson. And so these guys are just not. It's not good. Even on the Broncos side. Go ahead if you're going to go back on the.
No, I was going to jump on real quick. Just
okay.
There's two QBs in the recent history that I can recall off the top of my head that have started week one and were amazing, and that's Andrew Luck and Justin Herbert. That's it.
Yeah, it's been very, very minimal. It's a hard position to hit right on the nose, over time. But you look at the Broncos, they're playing well, but they've also played three horrible teams.
The Broncos
are picking in the top 5 next year.
I want you to look at. Can you tell me what the opposing teams' records are that the Broncos have played?
Oh well, the Jets.
0-9.
0-9.
That's the record of the teams the Broncos have played. 0-9. Yeah. Combined records.
So there you go.
So I don't want to knock them down too much.
Right.
But we got to see. Like, this is a pump to brakes.
This is what they should be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week, they got 2 tough teams coming up. Baltimore at home, and then they go and play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I'm not giving up on Pittsburgh on their play. They'll bounce. They'll probably be.
We're about to talk about Pittsburgh here.
But that's right there.
Oh, we already passed Pittsburgh. Actually, I want to go back to Pittsburgh real quick. Big Ben needs to retire, and that's my last bit.
This is last year. It's got to be.
All right. Miami at Las Vegas. This game was closer than I thought it would be. 28-31. Raiders taking it home.
Way closer. It went overtime.
Overtime.
2 field goals, wasn't it? Back to back.
Mm-hmm. Let me look at this. I'm pretty sure they were like dominating for most of this game, and then Miami just trickled their happy butt back, if I believe. No, it was close pretty much the whole game.
Okay.
But I mean, this really is, mind you, Las Vegas got a safety this game. Like, when a team gets a safety, I'm pretty sure they win. In my eyes, that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Las Vegas, I think, is a legit team. But this might be a story of like, how's Miami doing? By the way, who's Miami's quarterback right now?
I don't know.
Jacoby Brissett, the Biscuit man,
yeah.
Jacoby Biscuit.
Played in the Colts last year, year before.
Yeah, he's a backup. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's a backup QB, serviceable backup, not a starting QB. Should not have been in this game, but he was. And kudos to him. Kudos to that team for being in this game that I felt they had no business being in.
Yeah. I mean, Brissett almost had 400 yards passing, so he had a pretty good game.
Now,
but yeah.
Now to the team that's not going to go 500 this year, the Seahawks, which me and Duck have gone back and forth in text messages on Sunday.
Oh, big time.
We were having fighting words almost. Like, it was getting a little heated. Like, no. They play this team. But I mean, you took the Vikings in this game, so I can't argue too much. 17-30.
They're at home. Minnesota's new stadium, new era over there.
And I love that little horn too, that Viking horn.
Yeah, it is the coolest thing. I'm actually looking at. We'll talk about it later too. I might go to the game this Sunday.
I'm so jealous.
You know.
I am peanut butter and jelly.
You know who they be playing. So
I must be playing the Browns. I am so peanut butter and jelly.
We'll see. Probably not, but.
I mean, to me, what this was more importantly, like I've been off on the Seahawks all year. I think this is a prime. I always talk about this, and the Seahawks are my prime example of winning with a QB early, and you're paying him very little, so you can have this stacked Legion of Doom, this stacked defense, good offense. You got the money to throw around, but then when your QB starts getting paid, rightfully so paid, he's got to make up for those players that you can no longer sign. And for a while, Russell has been able to do it. But I no longer believe in them.
He's still doing it. Their defense is not there as it used to be.
But that's the problem, is they can't afford,
quarterback, in my opinion. But yes, like you're saying, they can't afford that.
Yeah, they can't afford to get those guys anymore.
That's a whole mentality of the NFL is issue in the first place. They kept putting money and they keep increasing. You can't pay one person, expect them to carry a team of 52. It's not possible. It's just not possible. So I think we're seeing that in other areas. What we're seeing, Tom Brady. We're seeing Tom
Brady taking a paycheck,
taking a cut.
Oh, did I say paycheck? Taking a pay cut. Yeah. He took a huge pay cut so they could bring in more players.
Yeah. That's the mentality you need. And that's where it should be, but it's not. That's one team out of all of them.
Speaking of the Bucs, I just want to point out, too, they did just bring in Richard Sherman in for a tryout. They are beat up. I mean, you know what? We'll go right into it right now. The Bucs, the Rams. This was such a good game. Yes. But the Bucs got exposed hard. They have major injuries in their secondary, and they were lit up. Stafford is an amazing QB. I've been very fortunate as a Lions fan to watch the comeback kid play. Truly an amazing human being as well. I mean, this kid, he broke his arm. Goes out there, tells the coach, I can still throw. I can make one more throw. Throws a touchdown pass. Leaves the game. He can't even take his jersey off. They had to cut his jersey and pads off. It's in the NFL Hall of Fame. I've got to see it. He's tough. I mean, early on there, it was always, he's always injured, but he wasn't. I mean,
he had to be.
Yeah, he had to
because
be.
they never put a good team for him. They never put a good offensive lineman on for them.
Stafford had some problems. Calvin Johnson exposed a lot of his problems. He said, Stafford said, I had to learn to put some finesse on the ball, to ease it back, to make a soft pass, because he would just throw bullets. And, you got to witness Stafford's arm this week. The man could just effortlessly, it looks effortless, but it just goes like 80 yards.
Yeah.
Like, every throw would be one of those beaming balls. And Calvin Johnson played with, I believe, his 8 or 9 broken fingers during some point of the season because of how fast that ball would get thrown.
I remember that. That's insane.
But, really important. Going back to our point, the Bucks in their secondary, they need to bring some people in.
Yeah, but is Richard Sherman the guy? I don't know.
I don't know. He's got that big name.
A step or two. But but the big name doesn't always,
I've always said it.
Might bring you tickets, but that's about it. I don't know if it's going to bring you, the mentality. It might make your defense overall better, I guess, in that sense. I don't think bringing him in is going to put him in and then make that position much better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think overall he might be the coach. He might be the the veteran that they need to help step up the younger guys.
Richard Sherman is an intelligent human being. Do not mistake intelligence for talent. But I've always said Richard Sherman was a scheme guy. He was not a guy to follow your number one receiver and lock them out. He could lock out a side of the field, which I believe was the right side. Don't quote me. But he would lock that side of the field. If your number one lined up over there, he took him out. And that's what he was. He was a scheme guy, and he had his side. Does he fit their defense? I don't know. I think he sounds like a flashy name that I hope they sign. I think he is intelligent. As far as playability, how he still play, I don't know. I haven't watched that much tape on him, but I've always been that guy where I think I've said it since I've started watching him more after the Legion of Boom or Doom, whatever they call themselves. I just noticed he was always more of a scheme guy, and then when he went to San Fran, it was really exposed as he is just a scheme guy. But the Bucks, they really need that right now because you're going to play these good teams. This could be a Super Bowl preview for all we know. But the Chiefs look pretty good there, dude. You going to play like this against the Chiefs?
We didn't talk about who the Chiefs just picked up this week, too.
Ooh, who'd they pick up?
Got reinstated.
Oh.
Josh the Flash Gordon.
Who, the Chiefs got him?
Yes. He's on the practice squad right now, but he will be moving up.
I actually loved Josh Gordon. I have jersey cards of Josh the Flash Gordon. But Josh has broken my heart too many times. I have picked him up in fantasy and watched him annihilate me.
Fantasy, I won't pick him up. But I would love to watch him again. But could you imagine him lining up with Tyreek Hill?
I don't. But here's the thing: is he still Flash? Is he still Is he still like to me? When I even see Josh Allen or Josh Gordon play, Josh Gordon, I saw a Calvin Johnson clone. I saw that speed, that body, that ability to take over the field, like jump ball. No, that's my ball. Like you could see it. The problem is he's got demons. He said it himself. There was one year he came back and played. He's like, this is the first year I've ever played sober.
Yeah, I remember.
He talked about being drunk every game he's ever played or high.
Drunk and high. Yep.
So it's like he's got to relearn how to take hits. When you're drunk or high out there, you're not feeling pain all the time. When you're sober, you're feeling pain.
Right.
So I don't know if he could still be the same guy. He had a stint with Seattle, and he didn't look that good.
No,
he had flashes.
Going through issues, yeah.
But that's my problem is I just don't have the confidence in him. Story-wise, I hope the guy does. Anyone who battles their demons, I hope you can overcome your demons and find something to bring you back to life.
He reminds me of a DK Metcalf type of wide receiver too. I think he's got his burst speed.
I think he's better.
I hope he comes back.
DK.
If he comes back,
maybe not now.
Watch out, AFC, because that is going to change the caliber of that Kansas City Chiefs.
Here's the thing. I don't think he can be anymore. I mean, we'll see. I think too much time has
we don't know.
passed.
Right.
DK Metcalf, to me, can only run one route, and that's down the field. He's a lot different. A guy like Josh Gordon and Calvin could run every route in the route tree. Ran good routes. DK doesn't run good routes. But DK is still a really good receiver. I like DK a lot. Just he's got one route tree. Other than that, the Rams looked amazing. Holy right. Rams.
Right.
I had to actually go back because this was the game that made me go back and watch the VOD because I'm like, I didn't really pick the Bucks, did I? I took the Bucks over the Rams at home. Like I didn't believe it. I'm like, did I mark these off? Oh yeah. By the way, this is a game I got wrong. This was the first game I got wrong between me and you that picked differently.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe myself.
A brainer pick in my opinion. Because of the travel.
Well, looking back, I'm like, but in my eyes, I don't care who wins because this was a great game. I have, I loved the GOAT, Tom Brady, Michigan boy, and Matthew Stafford, my homie forever. I didn't care who won, deep down. Right. My analyst in me picked Tom Perfect, but yeah, I still don't believe that. I can't believe I picked the Bucs. What was I thinking? All right, but next game we had was another good one. This is the next one I got wrong. Really close game, though. The 49ers I was close to winning this. The 49ers just gave Aaron Rodgers too much time. Yeah, you can't. This is the story of my week, right? It's like... Yeah, 49ers played a decent game. They didn't we talked about this last week, they didn't play that two safeties over the top defense, which I thought they might. Like I said, if we see the 49ers play that defense, Aaron Rodgers and this offense has been figured out. They didn't do that. They played a different defense, and it was kind of working out for them a little bit. Early on, it looked like a lights out shutout. I actually turned the game off for a minute, came down here, started doing some work down here, and then I put it back on Hulu on my computer. Shout out to Hulu. Hulu has live sports apparently. But what? Yeah, endorsement please. 49ers. I mean, I still believe in them. You go to the Pack. It was this was a home game for the 49ers, which is actually a little bit more hurtful. I still think they're a good team. I still have a lot of question marks. I took the 49ers. Did you? Okay. Yeah, I said this is my second game I got wrong.
Yeah. I'm just making sure you
just a little bit of Robbins.
Rubbing hard on me with all the ones I've got. So I
still got more right. I still got more right.
Green Bay Rodgers was never gone. He just had a little layover in that first game, and we'll talk about that in the rankings too because it was.
I think this game, this is our last game. Then we'll break out into the rankings here. But this one wasn't no surprise. The Cowboys dominating the Eagles, 41-21. Jalen Hurts
just whooped them.
Hurt to watch. Mm-hmm. Looked lost out there. Man, this game was hard.
Justin Field X. It was not good.
No. I want to cry for him. Like it was not a Zach Wilson or Justin Fields beating, but this was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. It was close to that, but not as bad. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Now, with that said, I have pulled ahead in our weekly pick'ems by 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
I have secured my lead a tiny bit more.
Week 3.
All right, but let's go over those power rankings.
Okay.
And we'll kind of breeze through them, and then we're gonna go through our picks.
So, Jets moved down to 32nd from 30th. I mean, that's no surprise.
You're using the NFL.com ones, correct?
NFL.com. Yeah, we'll use those ones the same throughout, just because I've been using the same ones.
That's what I wanted to make sure in case anyone wanted it at home to.
Yeah, we'll use consistent. I'm not totally in agreement with these guys whatsoever when it comes to the top, but we'll talk about that. Jacksonville actually moved up one spot. How? I think that's probably the highest they're going to get
I
all
think that
year.
has more
So
to
the
do
31.
with who's last.
Yeah.
That's more of a statement of
The
you're not
Giants
worse than the Jets.
moved back 3 ranks from 27 to 30th. That's
I don't know if
not
they're that
surprised.
bad, but they're bad.
This one this is a little surprise. I don't know if they've moved four back. The Bears moved to rank 29 from 25 to 24, 25 to 29. I don't know if they should have went that far back. I mean, it was a bad game. Jason Peters is the guy I was talking about. Jason Peters was a really good offensive lineman. He just got tore up. The boy couldn't do nothing to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett just ate him alive.
Yeah.
Texans are ranked 28. They stayed there. Yep. That's fine. Detroit.
this is surprising for me. This feels
Detroit
good.
moved up 4.
Why
from
they
31 to 27. 4 ranks against a Baltimore that hasn't played great this year, and they lost by a field goal. I mean, a 66-yard field goal. Sure, I guess you got to put them somewhere on the list.
4 spots.
You got to see who's behind them, right? There's a lot of bad.
That's what I was gonna say. This is more a testament.
Looked decent. They've been looking okay.
Yes.
They're the games are close, so I think that's why they moved them up.
Yes, this is more of a testament of who's behind us and us playing mediocre.
They should have even moved up one more with the Colts at moved back to 26 from 23.
I think the Colts are a better team. The Colts are a better team than Detroit.
No, not even close.
The Colts were competing with the Bucs for a minute.
This next team too should go back there as well.
Oh, this team,
even though they won a game, they moved up 4 ranks. Falcons moved up from 29 to 25.
So they'll be back down there next week.
Yeah, they'll be back down real quick. Washington moved down 3. They're at 24. Patriots moved down 8 ranks after their trouncing by the Saints to 23. Philadelphia moved down back 2. I mean, these games I'm okay with 22. Miami moved up 1, even though they lost.
They
in
deserved
overtime
it though.
The Raiders, they played a good game. Brissett had a good game too. They should have won that game. Pittsburgh. Oh my gosh, that's
8 spots.
8's a lot. And this is gonna just remember this 8 spot ranking when we talk about the next in the top 10. We're gonna go to this. Whoever, I don't even remember the guy who is it? Do we even know?
I'll go up and look.
We do know. What's his name? Look for it. Dan. Is it Hansis?
Yes.
That's who it is. I lost my spot. 19. Bengals moved up 7. That's a drastic move up. They beat Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh hasn't been playing good.
Mind you, these are all objective or subjective. Right.
Yeah, this is by one person doing this too, by the way.
Yeah, this is an opinion, and we're highly critiquing it.
Yeah, Saints moved up 1 spot, which is great, to 18. We need to come up with our own. We did talk about that, but we forgot to. Seattle moved down 8. This is big for James. I think he likes this one.
I do. I love it. I think he should keep going. But
the top 10.
Here's the Saints are a better team. The Bengals are a better team.
Minnesota moved up 8 spots from 24 to 16 after their win.
I like that.
They had a really good game. That was a good game for them. Tennessee moved up 1 to 15. Dallas moved up 3 to 14. I like this. I think Dallas is kind of on fire right now. I think they're going to win their division, but I'm not sure how much further they're going to go this year.
I looked at this next one in.
Panthers up 5 to 13. This is only I think they're basing this on just because of that win, not necessarily what's going to be happening, especially with Christian McCaffrey out. We're going to see them drop again. They're going to lose a few games here.
The next team's too high.
Denver Broncos, too high.
Way too high.
Their wins, they got 3 wins, but they're played really bad
0-9.
Teams. Yeah.
A combined record of your opponents is 0-9.
Here's your Arizona Cardinals. Actually moved back a rank from 10
I don't
11.
agree with. This is an atrocity. This is an atrocity to be moved back out of the top 10.
They did move the Chargers up ahead of them to 10. So I'm a little sold on the Chargers.
The Chargers
in that
was a
10.
good win.
Cardinals should still be in the top 10.
Yeah, maybe a lot. Those two should be swapped.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that. That's a swappable on those two. Las Vegas
Las
Raiders.
Vegas, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that until they move again to a different state.
No,
Las Vegas
I would love
Raiders
to go to a
ranked
game.
9. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Maybe we can do that on these little dad trip, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Went from 11 to 9. I like that. I think they're playing good. Like I've talked about, I love the coaching staff with Gruden. I love that their GM that they brought in. Can't remember his name, but I've heard a lot of. I like that. I like that what they're doing there, and I think they're doing something really good with that.
I said at the
Browns.
I said at the very beginning of the season. One sec. Don't not get in the Browns yet.
Hold on.
I said at the very beginning of the season that the Raiders were going to be better because John Gruden's finally going to be able to get his coaching staff and get everything flush. You know, he's got the years under it. He's got the draft picks he's want. Him and what's that? The draft guy who's the GM.
Can't remember.
They have like the best GM in the business.
Yeah, I love him.
Can't remember his name.
He's a defensive secondary guy. That's what position he played.
He's always doing the draft. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh my god.
Let's look it up. Anyway, move to see this. I'm a little confused. Maybe did I not refresh this?
Mike Mayock.
Mike Mayock. Yes, love him. What was I watching where I saw the Browns moved up to 6? I could have swore it was in this one.
Not this one.
This is frustrating. When you dominate a team so freaking bad
as
they
Bears!
Did,
pump the brakes!
Give a rip!
Pump the brakes!
Flipping sacks, bro. 9. That means your offensive line is garbage and should be replaced by Division II college football players. That's how bad it was. This is garbage, and right here is the tipping point of this Dan Hanzus, who Zeus, however you say his name, does not know how to pick, right? San Francisco stayed at number 7.
They're better than San Francisco, for sure, hands down.
How did San Francisco stay there when they lost their game, right?
Because they barely
then
lost
you got
their game.
Kansas City moved from 2 to 6.
Which is this is a 1 and 2 team. This is a 1 and 2 team.
But they're still better than the teams that are 2 and 1 and 3 and 0, right? They
didn't beat the Browns.
Heaven forbid. Barely. The Browns, I think, lost that game more than Kansas City beating us, okay? We can rewatch that game if you want, which I don't mind doing. Baltimore moved back 2 spots to 5. I think that's
here's what this is. This is
is this a slap in the face to Detroit? Or
no.
What is this?
This is this could be a slap. This is you almost lost to Detroit. That's what this is. This is you were a record-breaking field goal away from losing to Detroit.
Right.
And that's why Detroit moved up. Is because Detroit is still competitive at times.
I think if they would have lost, Baltimore would have lost, they probably would have moved back 4 or 5.
They would have moved down to 8. They would have been out of the top 10, maybe top 15, because you lost to Detroit. Detroit would have been in the top 20.
So you got Buffalo at 4, moved up 1 rank.
I think it's okay.
Okay. Here's where it gets stupid, because this is the team that should have never left that top 4 or 5. But they've been bouncing them left and right out because they lost the first game of the season and didn't look good.
Week 1 was atrocious. Week 1 was people are literally saying, is Aaron Rodgers throwing the season? And we talked about it. It felt that way. It felt like it.
Wasn't. It was like a hangover for him, okay? This is the problem with that. It was almost like a back-to-back game, like a Thursday night or Monday night and then a Thursday night game kind of concept. Thursday night was just rough. He was just having a bad day.
just having a bad day, Chuck.
Come out 7 or 8 ranks, and then the next game, oh, well, Rodgers is back. He's not throwing the game. Let's throw him back up to number 1. Oh, then now they, it's like just his ranking system is drastically changing all over. Like we talked about, 7
I
or 8
think that's
rank
okay,
changes.
though.
No,
Let's be honest, that's okay.
It's stupid. Tampa Bay moved down to number 1. Rightfully so. They lost. It was a closer game than the score I think shown.
I want to briefly talk about this one real quick. I think this is good for Tampa Bay. Losing this game is good for them because they no longer have to hear about, oh, you're going to be the 17-0 team, and that's a lot of weight on your shoulders for a team. The Patriots, the New England Patriots, when they went 16-0, like this was a huge weight. That's why they didn't win the Super. They claim this is why we didn't win the Super Bowl, because you didn't. It was such pressure on you to win every game.
Yeah.
And then when you finally fall behind, it's such a big So I think losing this game is going to be. It's going to do them a lot of good. And this, I'll even go back to the Chiefs. The Chiefs being 1-2, this makes them dangerous. Right. This makes them This means they could get hot at the right time of the season, make the playoffs, and ride that hot streak. That makes them dangerous. So I think, and let's not count. They're not out.
Rams moved to 1. I don't know if they should have moved up to 1.
Oh, come on, 100%.
They won at home
100%.
Against Tampa Bay. They won at their place. I don't think they should have moved to 1.
Who's number 2. Who's number 1 then? You're gonna put the Bucs at number 1 after they just lost to the Rams.
I wouldn't say the Bucs.
We're gonna put number 1.
I should have said from the beginning, Green Bay should have never left the top from that area. They got them out so far that they couldn't put them back to number 1 right away because they've been winning games and doing well with it.
So you think Green Bay should be number 1?
Possibly. It could be Buffalo. I think the Browns should be up there. Not number 1, but not freaking number 8. I'm going back to that.
We're talking number 1. And you're telling me...
How can you be number 8, rank 8, for the last 3 games in a row? Yet you still... Yeah, I'm just...
Doc is going to be heated over these Browns for a while.
I'm annoyed with it. 100%.
All right, hey, let's get into some more fun though. Let's get into some game picks here. You ready for that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's make some picks where I don't feel like I'm being desperate.
Ready. Let's do this.
Oh, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm messing around.
Oh man, hold on. Did you review this? You're like, you know what? I'm on it. I've reviewed. I went through the picks. I got to get my pad and paper ready.
I'll throw you the name when you're ready, and let's go.
All right, hold on.
Do this. I told you got to use NFLPickWatch.com.
I'm not doing NFL Pitch Watch. We'll go to this picture. This picture will be what will be happening. All right, so week 1, Thursday night, the Jaguars in Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati in this one.
You got Cincinnati? I got Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
This is I think the Bengals are a decent team. I think they're pretty good. They're on watch alert, and the Jaguars on you need to freaking win alert, which makes them dangerous. But not at home against the Bengals.
I'm gonna tell you though, this is gonna be a close game because I think this is Jaguars do or die to the season. They've got to get a win in here soon. So I think this is going to be a lot closer than we think it will be. But I definitely have Bengals on this one.
Okay. Titans in New York against the Jets. I go first. Slam dunk. This is the Titans.
Yeah, Titans. There's no question.
I don't think this is is this a joke? All right. Next up, the Chiefs in Philly. Chiefs on a very steep downhill decline. The Eagles just got done getting spanked.
Chiefs win this one.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. I think this is Patrick Mahomes comes out and throws four touchdowns in the first half. First half.
It's gonna be another ugly game for Philly.
Okay. Oh man, I gotta pick first in this next one. The Panthers in Dallas.
What are you waiting for?
I'm debating this one.
What are you waiting for on this one?
I'm debating this one.
What is there to debate?
Is Christian McCaffrey out for a week? Is he out for this game?
I don't care if he's out or if he's in. It don't matter. Come on.
I wish I'm gonna get some sound alerts, and I'm gonna have one that's the upset one. You know.
Yeah.
And it's in Dallas too. It's in Dallas. All right, I'm picking the Panthers.
Oh my gosh.
I'm taking the Panthers.
I'm making one up on you, Dallas, 100% on this one.
I am taking the Panthers because I think they're.
Sam Darnold's gonna get.
I think they are a complete
two,
team.
maybe 3 interceptions. This is over. We're gonna finally see the true Sam Darnold this game.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a shootout. To be honest with you.
There's no shootout. This is another butt whooping about to happen.
All right, the Giants at the Saints.
Am I picking first?
Yeah, you're picking first.
Saints.
Yeah, I agree. this is in New Orleans, easy, slam dunk. Yeah. All right, the Browns at the Vikings. I go first.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for my upset?
Sure.
Taking the Vikings.
Oh, good. So I'm taking the Browns. There's no way they're on a high right now from that last game. They're gonna just. If they can do the same, I know they're not going to get 9 sacks, but if they can put the pressure, half of what the pressure on they did in that last game against them, Kirk Cousins gets so flustered and just doesn't know what he's doing. When he's got pressure on him, he is garbo.
Now, hear me out.
Browns, 100%.
If this was reverse and it was in Cleveland, I would be taking the Browns. But this is in Minnesota, so I'm taking Minnesota. But I promise you, I'm gonna be rooting for the Browns because we have a lot of Browns. We have a lot of Browns on our fantasy team, so I will be rooting for the Browns.
Oh yeah.
But the analyst in me taking the Vikings.
Browns won the last time they played the Vikings at the old stadium too.
Oh, that's the old stadium. All right. You pick first in the Lions and some Bears.
That's Chicago. The reason why I'm hesitant, I'm not sure who's quarterback for Chicago. Not that it really matters. I think Goff's gonna really stoop. I got the Lions on this one.
I'm taking my Lions, getting their first win, baby.
I think Chicago is too downtrodden from this last game to really make that big of a change and to get a win. Bears. I don't see them happening. No.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. The Bears. The Bulls. The Bulls. No, yeah, definitely. I think the Lions are going to finally get their one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Texans in Buffalo. All day I'm taking the Bills.
Oh, yeah, that's no question. I'm looking at the consensus on this. 100% of anybody that's picked in this thing has picked the Buffalo Bills.
I think it's a pretty given on that one. If Tyrod Taylor was playing, it's in Buffalo, so I would still take the Bills. But Tyrod Taylor playing makes a different story. Yeah. But Colts at Dolphins.
Oof.
Dolphins have been playing good in Miami.
Yeah, I went with the Dolphins on this one. It's a home game.
This is tough for me. This one is I could see myself losing it, but I'm gonna take the Colts because I think Carson Wentz is a better QB than Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett also played for the Colts, so I think the players are gonna have a little bit of up on how he likes to play. So I'm gonna take the Colts because I think they're gonna know his, when you have a starting QB, it can, but he's gonna know the way he likes the ball, the way he takes his snaps, the way he takes his dropbacks.
Colts aren't good enough to understand that.
The Colts defense is great. So. I think I'm going that all day. Washington football team,
great
in Atlanta. I'm taking the Washington football team.
This is my upset, I guess, would be Falcons on this one.
Man, we already got. Are you just picking different than me?
That's only the second one. What are you talking about?
That's the fourth one we
Third.
picked different.
Fourth?
Yeah.
Well, it's because you picked the Vikings, which is a horrible pick.
I took the Vikings and the Panthers.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
You're really gonna get trounced this week.
Who's first? You're first on this one. The Seahawks or the 49ers?
49ers. It's a home game.
I started writing Seahawks for some reason, but I'm taking the 40. I'm taking the 49ers. I don't know why I was writing that, because I know they're gonna lose. And they're going to be 1-3, below 500. This is another good game coming up. The Arizona Cardinals going against the Los Angeles Rams at home. This is going to be a good game. I have this game going either way. I would call it a 50-50 split.
I don't know if I go that far.
I have a hard time choosing this game, but I'm going to go with my gut on which team I think has the... Man, this is hard.
There's nothing hard about this pick, just so you know. There's nothing
I could go... You know what? I'm going to go the contrary pick. I'm going to take the exact opposite you are, which I think you're going Rams, and I'm going to go Cardinals.
Yeah, Rams. 100%.
I'm going to go
Cardinals
different than you.
Really going to get shown up on this one.
Because I know you don't know how to pick games, so I want to take the opposite of you.
Murray. Yeah. I don't know how to pick games. Right.
No, I think Kyler Murray's very underestimated. And here's the reason why I can see the Cardinals winning. And this is going to be a very good game to watch, because I think this is going to be either defenses figuring things out, or it's going to be a bloodbath shootout. So you going against Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not a dual threat quarterback. The GOAT is the GOAT because he can make amazing passes and read a defense, and he's a coach on the field. Kyler Murray is a dynamic player that can run the ball, and he's very smart and intelligent with it. And he can throw a very good ball. And you have DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green out there. Christian Kirk's a very good slot receiver. Their defense, Chandler Jones, weren't we just talking about him a couple weeks ago? Didn't he get 3 or 4 sacks in a game? Their defense isn't a bum worthy. They have a chance. I'm not saying it's 100%, but this is an in-division rivalry. And I've said it. I stick to it. Any team can win an in-division game, and I'm taking it.
You're taking an L, that's for sure.
It might be.
Got this by 100%. Their defense, this is Kyler Murray is going to be a bad game for him. Just mark that down. Write it down in pen. You didn't even got to write it in pen.
Wait, what am I writing down?
Kyler Murray is going to have a bad game. 2 interceptions, at least.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, the Rams are really good on both sides of the ball. They could be, and I'm not gonna lie. When you look at pen and paper, I think the Rams are lights out the better team on paper, right?
Yeah.
But that's not everything. That's not all the intangibles to football, and that's why I'm going to take the Cardinals on a head that I feel that they could win. And you know what? If they win, I'm going to look real good. So I'm going to take that risky pick. Now, the Steelers going against Green Bay at home. I'm up first, Darn. No, you're up first in this one. Pittsburgh Steelers, going against Packers at home.
Green Bay. Packers are done. I mean, not Packers. Excuse me. Pittsburgh is done. They're just gonna go on a little losing streak here. They're not winning this game. They have no chance.
Man, I'm taking the Steelers this week.
What?
Because I can't go. I can't.
I've
gone against Green. I've gone against the Packers every week.
Packers are like my Panthers, right? I can't pick them.
I can't take them, and I think
this is another loss. I'm about to go. You know what? You're 3 up. I'm about to be 3 up on this next week.
This week is about me legitimizing me as an analyst, okay? I think the Steelers, after taking that big butt whooping, are going to be like, you know what?
Still going to get another butt whooping.
Coaching staff's going to bring it together, and they're gonna get it together.
Wait, so you're blaming this on the coaching staff?
Yes.
It was a coaching staff? Even though you said
Big Ben's done.
Ben
Dude, this dude needs to sit down. Who's going to stop him? The Packers defense doesn't have Zadarius Smith. They suck.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Okay.
the Steelers have a defense at least.
Bad picks. You keep picking these bad picks because it's going to be a good week.
What are you going to do when I'm 100% this week?
You're
when I'm 100% this week.
Not even close.
All right, the next game, Ravens at the Broncos. I go first this one. This one's another tough one because the Ravens have been playing rather crappy. The Broncos have been playing like a full-blown team, like a complete team. But we talked about the Broncos have not played a good team yet. I'm taking the Ravens. But I can see this going the other way.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos. I like the play at the stadium there. I like it's a hard place to play. You're going.
It is mile high too, and I want to. You know what?
The elevation is a big difference, and it can make a major play. You might not see it in the first few quarters, but you start seeing that the third, that fourth quarter. I gotta go with.
If there's a pick, I think I'm going to get wrong. If there's one pick, I think I'm going to get wrong. It's this one. But I'm sticking with my pick, and I made it. But if there's one I know I might get wrong, it's this one because of the mile high thing. And that's the only reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, only reason.
Only reason. The only team. All right, the Broncos at the Patriots. Or, excuse me, not Broncos. The Buccaneers at the Patriots. The revenge game. Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady. Let's be honest. Bill Belichick knows Brady. Can he outbrain the GOAT? Does he have the tools to do it? He also knows Gronk.
That doesn't matter.
Does he know? Is he going to be able to do it? Who picks first? Yeah, you pick first.
All right, I'm sorry, Chags. I'm going Tampa Bay here, buddy.
All right, I tried to talk you out of it, but I'm going Bucks as well.
All the way. Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't either. Let's be honest. I can't do it.
Right?
I can't.
He's gonna be at the game.
Oh, wow. I'm so jelly.
Hey, have fun. But I'm sorry.
Listen, Brady is back home. Enjoy Brady. He's home.
He's coming home.
All right.
Yeah, you might as well enjoy because he is going to get another win in that stadium.
Mm-hmm. And Mac Jones is another QB. I'm going to go on the record and say that I think should have sat this year behind and won the job. And, earned it and shown he can do it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did it probably the best we've seen since Brady.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up we have the Chargers at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chargers just came in hot and beat the Chiefs. That's a big deal. Now, the Raiders, in my opinion, this is also an in-division game. I feel can go either way. Las Vegas has been playing tight games.
They're winning.
And they're winning. Right? They're finding a way to win, which is ultimately... A W is a W, which is the most important thing. But the Raiders are doing it against other... this is tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Raiders have beat the Ravens, but we also look at the Ravens as a little down. The Chargers have beaten the Chiefs. I am very conflicted on this one. I would like to pass... Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not going to pass. I was going to pass to you to take the first pick.
Go ahead if you want.
No,
let me explain why here.
You give me your explanation of what's going on.
This is going to be a really good game, and I think it's going to be a close game, but I think you're going to see.
I'm writing my pick down.
He's going to fall a little flat in this game because of that high that he had going into Kansas City and winning that. You want me to tell you my pick?
I'm going Raiders.
So am I. I've had them down, and I feel like they're still going to win this game. I like Herbert. I think he's going to be good. It's his second year coming in, but you're seeing a veteran team of the Raiders still coming in. They're winning the close games. They're getting it done, and I think they're going to get it done again.
Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs should be able to get health. Hopefully, will be healthy for this game, and I think that's going to be the difference. This team the Las Vegas Raiders are a completely different team when Josh Jacobs on the field. he changes the game tremendously, and I think that's why they've been holding him out, getting him healthy. And I hope he's going to be back, besides for the fact I have him in some best ball leagues, but I think he's going to get back out in the field, do great things, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think the Raiders are a better coach team, and I think that's why they've been winning games. I think we could say that. They've also been a good drafted team. They've hit on draft picks like every year since Mike Mayock has came. But let's get into some things real quick. We have differed on a week-breaking 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Panthers over the Cowboys. I think that's probably our least controversial one. I have the Vikings over the Browns, which this is a stab in the Ducks' heart. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reation why you're doing it.
This is the stab in the duck heart.
That's the only reason why you're doing it.
This is at home for the Vikings.
No, okay. The Vikings they had a good game last week, but they haven't been great all time. Like I said, we're gonna put pressure on Cousins. He's gonna do absolutely nothing. He's gonna throw picks. He's gonna be throwing a lot of incomplete passes.
For the record,
it's gonna happen. They got a great running back team. That I'm a little worried about. If we can keep them, if we can keep our defensive line and keep that in check, this game's over.
For the record, I will be rooting for the Browns, and I hope the Browns win.
Well,
from an analyst standpoint, I'm taking the Vikings. Right? I hope I'm wrong in this game. Because that means we're doing good in our best ball league, which I would much rather be. But I have to take the Vikings because, like I said, at home, I think they're a good home team. That crowd shows up. I do think the Browns are lights out on defense. They are pretty. That front is great, but I think the Vikings can pull that win out. The next one we differ on is this is actually probably our least controversial one, and that's the Colts versus the Dolphins. Yeah. The Dolphins have been playing very tight games. They've been very competitive. I can't knock you for that pick at all. I'm just more higher on Carson Wentz than you. Mm-hmm. I think Carson Wentz can be good.
It could be closer than I think, too.
I'm also high on the Colts defense. I really am.
I'm giving them the favorable because it's a home game. That's the only reason why, really. If this was Colts at home, I probably would have won the Colts, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't think the Dolphins are a good home team, personally. The next one we differ on is Washington versus the Falcons. Mind-boggling that you took the crappy I can't believe you took the Falcons in this one. I question you completely.
Ryan can do something for me this time.
I question your ability to pick games by picking this one.
This is a home game in a beautiful stadium. They've got to get a win. They've got to get it. This is
against what? I don't see it here. This is my gimme pick. Probably to make up for one of my later picks.
Oh, the rest of them?
The Cardinals. Was this at home for the Cardinals or was the Rams at home? I think the
Rams are at home.
Yeah, this might have been a bad pick, but I took the Cardinals over the Rams. I could really see this.
Might is a key
I could see this game going either way, though. I've talked about in-division games, and I'm going to harp on that for a long time. You're going to hear it. I'm going to harp on it for a long. Don't be surprised if an in-division game goes the opposite way that the spread says. And I really do.
I don't agree with that from experience of the Steelers always whooping the Browns for so many years, and they're finally making some changes. We haven't played them yet this year.
Speaking of the Steelers, I took the Steelers over the Packers, which is the craziest pick I've made. This is the craziest one.
There was worse. There was worse, but this is, yeah.
This is the craziest pick I think this is the craziest pick I've taken. The Steelers over the Packers. The Packers have found their rhythm, but I think the Steelers, this is a comeback game. This is a makeup game. This might be a game that I go back and go, did I really pick this team? And I have to rewatch this episode. But I'm taking the Steelers. They're gonna bounce back. This is their week. This is where they go, you know what? We're doing it.
Your hatred for Green Bay in division is what's gonna make you lose this game. Okay. It's just mark it right down as an L. You're gonna at least lose this game and probably many more. Okay?
All right. Well, the last one we differ in is I took the Ravens over the Broncos, which to me this was going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game to watch as well, but It could go either way.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a good game, and yeah, I think it can go both ways as well. I'm probably reaching a little bit on Denver winning this one.
I am pretty firm that I think the Ravens are going to win, but I could see it going either way.
Yeah, I am too. I'm just giving an advantage to the Denver to being home. That's really the only reason why.
For me, this is much more a hit on Denver's opponents because I'm not like if Denver wins this game, I will give them much more credit. I will give them a lot more credit.
A little bit because then we'll say, well, is
their combined records? Really, their combined records of opponents is 1 in like 1 in 12, 1 in 6.
So we're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see a team that Baltimore's kind of struggling a little bit, which I don't mind seeing. I'm actually enjoying Baltimore struggling and Cincinnati. I mean not Cincinnati, Steelers, and seeing the Browns and Cincinnati doing pretty decent this year. So.
Well, those are our picks that we differ on, and we're gonna see how we do come next Tuesday, but we'll start Thursday night. I think Thursday's gonna be a good tone setting game. I don't think this is a game you're breaking the day for, but I think that Sunday is gonna be really the games we're gonna be really excited about.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of good games that day.
Even Monday's going to be pretty nice one as well. But Sunday's where it's at, as always.
Sunday night.
But with that said, I just want to thank everybody for coming out live, checking out the stream live. We really appreciate that. If you watch this, make sure to follow. We have a Discord now, right, Duck? I don't think we talked about that's on the. Do you have? If Duck could please put the link in. I know I make him work. He's my work slave here. The link for our DukNilla Discord. You can join that Discord. We also, we have a lot of gaming news, gaming community.
Home for everything right now.
Yeah, it's our home for everything. DukNilla is our brand. You could join there. You could join the football section. If that's all you want to do, join the football section. Get involved with that. You can also, if you want to watch these at your own leisure, you can rewatch the VOD on Twitch. It is up for as long as we can have it. And it is also available on our YouTube, which is just simply DukNilla at YouTube. Link is in the About Me. And Duck could probably put that up here too as well.
Yep.
Please do subscribe to the YouTube. We've been tracking that puppy. But we really appreciate you guys watching, whether it be live, interacting with the chat. We do try to type back to you guys. Sometimes we interact. We try to keep it focused, but we really appreciate that. And I really do appreciate all the VOD watches and YouTube watches. It means the world to me.
Yes.
And also, if you enjoy gaming content, come check out tomorrow. It's going to be a very heated debate in the gaming world for our gaming podcast. Me and Duck might get heated. You never know. I think we're gonna throw down the fisticuffs a bit.
I think so.
So there's your spoiler alert. Make sure you check out the gaming cast tomorrow. It's gonna be really exciting. Other than that, thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next time. I'm not gonna end it. I just wanted to wait here a second.
The awkward.
Yeah, you gotta get into the awkward ending moment. My camera goes out of focus.
Bye.
There's no buys here.